Once upon a time, in a grand and peaceful kingdom, there lived a wise and kind king. He had many young princes, each full of dreams and excitement. One bright morning, the king gathered all his sons in the royal garden. With a warm smile, he said, "My dear children, the one who grows this seed into the most beautiful plant will become the next king of this land." The princes were thrilled. The king gave one seed to each prince. Among them was the youngest and most sincere, Prince Ping. Ping ran to his room, filled a clay pot with fresh soil, and carefully sowed the seed. Every morning, he watered it gently and placed it near his sunny window. Days passed, but not even a tiny sprout appeared. Still, Ping waited and cared for it with love and patience. One afternoon, as Ping sat sadly by his window, one of his brothers passed by and laughed. "Still staring at your empty pot, Ping? Maybe you forgot how to plant." Ping felt hurt, but he said nothing. He just smiled softly and kept waiting. Weeks went by. Then came the day when all the princes were called to bring their plants to the royal garden. The gardener welcomed them and arranged all the pots neatly in a line. Ping stood quietly at the end, holding his empty pot, feeling nervous and shy. The next morning, the king arrived with a cheerful smile. He walked around, admiring the prince's colorful plants and flowers. Finally, he stopped in front of Ping and asked gently, "My dear son, why did your plant not grow?" Ping looked down and said honestly, "Father, I took care of my seed every day. I watered it and gave it sunlight, but it never grew." The king's eyes filled with pride. He smiled and said loudly, "My children, the seeds I gave you were boiled. They could never grow." But only Ping was honest enough to tell the truth. The garden fell silent. The king placed his crown gently on Ping's head and said, "Honesty and courage are the true qualities of a ruler.